Hi bitches, what's good? It's Janae and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different than what I've typically done. I wanted to do a little bit of a news roundup video. I wanted to take stories that pertain to the trans community and transgender people that happened in the past week, and I want to just come here and talk about them and bring all of the news to you. So, as most people already know, 2 days ago was Transgender Day of Remembrance. Now, this is where we remember all the people that we have lost to transphobia, to senseless violence, and shit like that. We celebrate the people and what they've done, and we hope for a better future. And we need to keep working because, honestly, this year has been a really bad year. Getting right into the news. Right here, Transgender Day of Remembrance, 2020, murdered, suffocated, and burned alive. 350 transgender people killed in 2020. Now, this is obviously not a happy news story. This is very upsetting to hear that this is happening, and it was so big this year. Honestly, 2020 has been bad on all fronts, and people politically are divided, and socially people are distanced, like physically and socially. We are more divided than ever as a country, and it's not surprising, although it is extremely sad. However, some good has come from this actually. Joe Biden Kamala Harris vowed to change on Trans Day of Remembrance. This is very good for the trans community. Obviously, it'd be better if we had some more progressive people in there than just Joe Biden, but Joe Biden is far better than Trump. So we're gonna have to see what these two actually do in terms of helping trans people and making sure trans people have fair and equal rights and shit like that. IBM apologizes 52 years after firing of transgender computer pioneer. So, I mean, I guess better late than never. 52 years it took them to apologize for firing someone based off of gender identity. It is really ridiculous that things like this actually happen, and they are still happening in this world, where you can be fired just because some bigot doesn't like how you identify. I mean, this is really immature and childish. I thought we were older in this, but I just wanted to read a little piece of this article. It says, I struggled to hold back tears. Lynn Conaway, 82, told Forbes magazine of the apology made during an online ceremony last month as IBM executives presented her an award for her lifetime of achievement. So, I mean, imagine you're 82 years old and you were fired. You were this computer pioneer, like you made changes that have resulted in changing the whole industry and progressing technology, and you're not recognized for this. And finally, after 52 years, IBM has in fact recognized her. So congrats to her. That is amazing, and I'm happy that she finally got the recognition and got that award. She definitely deserves that. Now, the next story is not all that surprising at all. It is Ben Shapiro attacks on transgender craze book, latest example of attempts to censor conservatives. If we hope to have a country together moving forward, we better have an open conversation now. Here's the thing, Benny boy, wet ass P word, is that you don't get to be a bigot and then want to have an open conversation. There is no open conversation. You need to respect trans people, and trans people need to be able to live their rights, live their life, and have the same rights as everyone else. So there can't be an open conversation until we agree that trans people are valid, because that's actually backed up by science. Mr. Facts Don't Care About Your Feelings is ignoring the fact that trans people existing is a fact and that he is factually wrong. So we have more good news actually, that's good. New HBO Doc, Transhood, profiles 4 transgender kids. Now, I'm hella excited for this. Anyone who knows something about me knows that I love documentaries. Docs are my shit. I could just sit there and watch shit all day. I love learning about things, getting insight, and hearing from other people's experiences. Now, recently, Netflix did release the Disclosure documentary. I think that was actually like half a year ago. I don't know. 2020 has been flying by. But anyways, the more media attention, the more visible that we are, the better it is. And I'm just going to read a little thing from this. It says, how a Midwestern family raised their transgender daughter. Love lettuce. I think people perceive being transgender as something evil only because they do not know what's going on. This is very true, and a lot of this has to do with the way that trans people have been treated in society in the first place. So one of the things that can really affect shit is Hollywood, and you wouldn't expect this, but there's a lot of issues that we see in Hollywood when it comes to minorities, when it comes to the way that black people are portrayed and also trans people are portrayed. So when they're portrayed as this thing that like you should be concerned about, it's not really a surprise when people become concerned about it. But as we get more and more progressive and we move further and further towards equality, we're going to start seeing more and more things like this. We're going to start seeing more and more of positive representation, and that's really going to like show you who the people are bigoted and who the people who are just confused are. So this is positive. The more documentaries we get, the more just raw, real people that we have just being visible, the better it is for the entire community. And now the next story, this is not a story from the past week. This is actually a story from a while ago. This is a story from a few weeks ago on election night. And it says right here, trans and non-binary candidates set record wins in red and blue states. So this is absolutely amazing. There was records set for trans and non-binary people getting elected into office, not just in progressive states, not just in blue states, but also in red states. So this is really showing us that trans people are getting out there, they're trying to make changes, they're being visible, and we are being heard. Despite the fact that 350 people were lost to transphobia this year, we have seen a lot of improvements. We have seen more visibility, more representation, and the more we can get, the better. But we need to keep going. And it's going to be hard. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be people who are going to push back that do not like this. But we have to stay strong. Anyways, peace out, bitches. Have a great day.